Hey guys, it's Greer and
Uh,
y'all's favorite person.
Moneybags, yes,
Yes,
that's me.
yes.
I'm the only reason you get views. Hoorah.
First off, sorry for not uploading shit these past 3 weeks. I'm lazy and anyway, this is less of what I normally do and more of, I guess, giving a little backstory on me. So really, you don't need to watch this if you enjoy my stuff. Also, quick thing. If I send this to you via text message, you need to watch this thing fully through, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts. All right?
Yeesh. Okay,
Um,
I will preface this first. I'm here for emotional support and
yes.
comfort here. That's all I'm here for. That's all him. Okay?
Yep.
It's just pay attention to him. I'm here for emotional support and comfort. You can just focus on that side of the screen.
Here.
Yeah, alright,
So essentially, this is just me explaining myself as a person. So, and I'm going in order of least polarizing to most polarizing.
Yeah.
So I guess the least most polarizing thing about me is I am very openly bisexual. I mean, I personally don't care about anything like that. I guess the next thing to mention is I am non-binary. I don't really feel like any gender in specific. I just kind of feel like I am. It sounds really weird, but I made a joke a while back with friends where I called Kirby the Overgod. He is everything and nothing all at once. Take out the Overgod stuff, that's what I feel. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Yeah, the name thing. So, I always introduce myself as Greer, and I've had a couple videos in the past, like two, where I say my quote unquote actual name and then refer to myself as I've dead named myself. It is. The name I was given at my birth. I don't go by anymore. I go by Greer. Greer. That is my name, and that is what I respond to. I'm like fully socially transitioning to that simply because I like it more. And I just feel like I am more emotionally attached to it, if that makes sense. Alright, next. Let's see, what else is there? What else is there? Oh yeah, I guess this is kind of the big one in the room. I am, in fact, trans. Whippy. Yay. Yay, yay. Ha. Funny. Bazonga, bazonga.
Do you want me to, do you want me to
Yes.
edit like the 6 a.m. like yay?
Yeah. So essentially, I am trans. I haven't known for a long time specifically, but it is something I've found out. I want to say quite recently, like within the past 5 months. It's simply just because I had an old friend, and I don't remember their name, where they were essentially the exact same non-binary as I was, where they don't care about pronouns at all. They just think they're somewhere in between, but they had been biologically born female. And I kind of remember thinking to myself and telling my math teacher that I feel like my life would be a lot better if I had been my exact same self, but had the body of a woman. So, yeah, essentially, once I am of legal age, I am gonna start, physically transitioning. And this leads me to a like slight tangent with this. God, I fucking have dyslexia. Slight side tangent. Essentially, I am what is known as a Salmasian, which is a person who has the desire for a mixed set of genitals. It is a surgery, and I've done a bit of research into it, but that is essentially like what my ideal body would be. But that's less like what I want to be open about. I guess the most polarizing thing about me, you could say, is well, I'll ease into this. I'll ease into this. So I would say I'm left-leaning centralist because I do think there's some bullshit going on the left, but I like actively despise this country's current political climate. I think like I am not proud to be an American. I think this country is running itself into the ground, and I am extremely embarrassed to be, calling myself an American. Simply because, as I've said previously, it's kind of really not a good time for me to be finding out that I am all these things, right?
Yeah.
But and because of this, I've you know, guise myself with a specific philosophy, one that has the quite bit of infamy. And Lucas, before we say this, would you say what your religious beliefs are, real quick? Because it does have something to do with this.
I'm atheist, anti-theist. I'm like both.
Yeah, so atheist, pretty self-explanatory. You don't believe in a god. But what an anti-theist is someone who believes religion does more harm than good. I go with both of those, but I also have a philosophy of myself, which I get from the late great Anton Shandor LaVey, or if you don't know, he goes by the Black Pope, because he is the founding member of, which started in 1966, the Church of Satan. And right here, I have the Satanic Bible. Before you freak out, I acquired this through dubious legal means. Barnes and Noble. But anyway, yeah, I am a full-on philosophical Satanist. Now, before you go freaking out, Satanist does not mean I worship the devil. That is a separate category known as a devil worshipper, which I find quite stupid. Essentially, if anything, it is a somewhat left-leaning political philosophy. The more political side would be Satanic Temple, but they both share the same view, which I'll just read off the tenets right now if I can find them. Okay, so here are the 9 satanic statements. Satan represents indulgence instead of abstinence. Satan represents vital existence instead of spiritual pipe dreams. Satan represents undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. Satan represents kindness to those who deserve it instead of love wasted on ingrates, which I will get to that because that is where I slightly differ. Satan represents vengeance instead of turning the other cheek, which is, again, I somewhat agree with this. Satan represents responsibility to the responsible instead of concern for psychic vampires. Satan represents man as just another animal, sometimes better, more often worse than those that walk on all fours, who, because of his divine, spiritual, and intellectual development, has become the most vicious animal of all. Which is something I do thoroughly believe in. I believe humans are simply the product of the genetic pipeline. If we're going off multiverse theory, there's a world out there that's the exact same as us, but instead of Homo sapiens becoming the ones with intelligent thought and, speaking, it could be like canines or sheeps. Number 8 is Satan represents all of the so-called sins, as they all lead to physical, mental, and emotional gratification. And 9, the final one, Satan has been the best friend of the church has ever had, and has kept us in business for all these years.
I love how unserious it is.
Oh no, yeah,
I did not know that
all
actually because I haven't actually read the book, but I have dabbled in the philosophy of it just to educate myself.
Yes.
When he did introduce himself as a Satanist, and
'Cause
I
I
wanted to because obviously I didn't know much. I mean, we're in the South. We're in a red state.
Bible
we're not
Belt. Help me.
we're in the Bible Belt, so we are not in the. I was not, and it's okay to admit this. Like I was not in the knowledge or the place to be educated by it. So I do appreciate that I was educated by that.
It is a very
career.
interesting thing because another one is so the Church of Satan is the philosophical side of it, and Satanic Temple is the political side. If you hear stories of so-called devil worshippers trying to take religion out of school, that would most likely be Satanic Temple, which they are trying to take it out, but not replace it with theirs. They fight for the separation of church and state. They fight for women's rights, for LGBTQ rights. They are essentially the best side of the political spectrum, I would say. Now, I essentially what I do is I take this book right here and base my philosophy on it. My philosophy is I sum it up in 2 quotes. The first one is the only person you should ever hate is people who are hating themselves. As in, they don't hate themselves, but they hate outwardly, i.e., the fuck ass running this country. The next one would be, the only okay, life is the most precious thing on earth, and therefore the only thing wrong that you can do, like, is either ruin someone's life, i.e., like really bad stuff like
Things you can't say on the internet.
no assault, stuff like that,
Yeah.
or take life away, as in murder. I believe that since there is no afterlife, life is the most precious thing on this earth, and it really needs to be cherished. So that is why I also vibe with this so much, because it really does. Satanism is about indulgence of the self. The only God is one's self. And essentially, it just says because the only God is one's self, or yourself, and other people are also other gods, you should always treat people with the utmost respect. Now, I don't necessarily believe in the go after vengeance kind of thing, because I think that's kind of a bit excessive. I do believe in redemption, but for people, like, again, the fuck ass running the state, I call him Annoying Orange, he is not someone who can be redeemed. Like, full stop. There is nothing it can do, and I think he deserves to be impeached.
Mhm.
Like, I'm never gonna fight for political violence, but I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
But
It's like that one clip of Penguin Zero. Boo
Boo,
bad,
but
but anyway, yeah, this is essentially if you are watching this channel and think anything that I have said is against your beliefs or something, and you truly believe that I should quote unquote burn in hell, fuck off. You just don't respect human life, because trans rights are human rights, women's rights are rights.
whites.
Why?
Why? Trans white or William White?
Black
Sorry.
Lives Matter. Essentially, I believe all life matters, no matter what, and you should treat people with respect. So essentially, this is my video of essentially trying to, for lack of a better term, cleanse my social circle, because I don't want to be hanging around people who will try and kill me. But
That seems like a pretty good,
thing to go after, right? But yeah. Um uh Hail Satan, as above so below. Alright, cut. I got one in, and I'm keeping it.
Yeah, we'll keep it.